We are going to learn exactly how to reverse back pain, hip pain, mid-back pain, neck pain, headaches, migraine headaches, even digestive issues, sinus issues, chronic dry eye. All these have one common denominator: the position of your hip alignment. As the hip goes, so goes the spine. All our bones need to be in a precise alignment in order to keep stress off of our muscles and nerves. When the hip is pushed out of alignment, it can cause problems all the way down from the knees to the top of the spine, the head, causing headaches. So, what's going on is there's a special relationship between the muscles and bones and nerves. The bones stay in their alignment when the muscles are in proper balance. When one muscle becomes weaker than the opposing antagonistic muscle, then you get problems with the bones and the joints in between them and the nerves. That's when chronic pain develops. And what's going on is from the time we're born, or the time we start walking really, we are jacking up our leg muscles. We're getting our leg muscles nice and big, and our back muscles nice and big and strong, and we never use our core muscles. And the leg muscles and the back muscles pull on the hip, and they pull against the core muscle, the muscles in our core. And that is what pushes our hip out of alignment and causes hip pain, back problems, neck, headaches, and all the others. So this is how we're going to restore our hip. What happens is we lose our posture. These muscle imbalances cause us to lose the posture, the big posture we're born with. You can probably tell right now that my posture is a little kind of flat. My lower back does not curve very much at all right now. I have been doing stuff all day to kind of yank on my posture. So what I'm going to do is reset my posture on the ab lounge, the blue chair. You've probably seen one on TV. What we're doing is we are strengthening core muscles on this thing without incorporating leg muscles. We are isolating core muscles to restore our posture. Let's see. This might be a better way to show my posture. It probably looks kind of flat. So when we get off of this thing, hopefully it's a little more curved. The arch in my spine is a little more curvier. 3 ways. If you are heavily dominated by your right side of your body like I am, I have large, slow twitch muscles on my right side and then small, fast twitch muscles on my left. Bad genes, really. So I have to kind of push my hip against the dominant side of my body. I got bigger leg muscles and back muscles on my dominant side than on my non-dominant side. That pushes my hip to one side. So I have to push back. I have to strengthen core muscles. What I have to do is strengthen the external oblique. And most people are right-handed, so most people are going to have to do this, what I have to do. The external oblique, that takes a lot of the stress. That's probably the number one exercise. And then we have to strengthen the six-pack, abdomen, and then the pelvis muscle under that. So let's get right into it. When you're a beginner, you won't have to use weights on your ankles and wrists. I use weights because it's come extremely easy after doing this for years. So if you take weights, put on your ankle weights, and then grab a barbell that's about the same weight as your ankle weights. In my case, about 15 pounds on my ankle, 15 in the hand. This balances the weight on the abdomen, on the ab lounge, so that it's not all awkward and you have too much weight on one end. I'm going to strengthen the external oblique right here. This, just drive the seat down using only the external oblique right here. What I have to do, involuntary muscle spasm, you just pull against the other oblique on your non-dominant side. You will never have to strengthen that oblique on the non-dominant side of your body. Just the one that's getting all stretched out, stressed out on the dominant side. This pulls and stretches against the low back muscle. When I did this, when I strengthened my external oblique here, that's when my low back pain went away. Just with this exercise, just strengthening this muscle right here. Never had low back pain again. Oh, involuntary muscle spasm. Posture improved. Back of my hip slid up into my lower back and stretched out the back muscles. Pulled against the leg muscles too. Okay, now I'm gonna get on my butt and strengthen the pelvis muscle. Just drive the seat down, slide the pelvis muscle, slide the hip bone back into the lower back muscles. My former cable guy, one of my cable guys, stated how his mother called this the avalanche, the back stretching machine. That's exactly what it does. It stretches out your back muscles, takes that stress off your hip and nerves and muscles. So again, we're also pulling against the leg muscles and low back muscles and improving our posture when we just slide the pelvis muscle up. Now I'm going to work the six-pack abdomen. All you're going to do here is press the six-pack abdomen against your spine. That's it. Press it flat against your spine. This really pulls against the dominant leg. Again, you're not doing crunches. Crunches work against your posture. People who try to strengthen their core by doing crunches, sit-ups, that pulls against your posture and makes the whole thing worse. What's going on here is my leg bones are being pulled up into the socket, into the hip socket, tighter. Oh, involuntary muscle spasm. Low back muscle gets stretched out. And the leg bones slide up into the socket, hip socket better. As the hip goes, so goes the spine. But to keep your hip in perfect condition, you have to keep the leg bones sucked up into the socket. Nice and good. By strengthening the core muscles, that's how you do it. By strengthening the core muscles. I grew up with at the age of 14 was when I got started my chronic pain. I got neck pain at 14. 15, 16 was when I got the low back pain. I picked up a girl that was heavier than me and just really jacked up my lower back. Messed up a disc or something because it's still tender back there. When I touch the bone, it doesn't hurt, it's just tender. When I hit college and started doing organized sports and lifting heavy weights was when the extreme neck pain set in, and that's when I really started putting stress on my hip. When I got into when I graduated college and started my accounting career and started sitting in an office chair all day, that really put stress on my hip to the point. Well, I was also doing even more, lifting even heavier weights, doing more exercising, weightlifting, running a mile every day. At night, during the day, I would have to sit in an office chair at my job for 8 hours. Office chairs, statistics say, and not sitting in an office chair will reduce your posture by about 30%. And this combination of sitting all day and then playing at night just pushed my hip so far out of alignment that I was getting sciatica at the age of about 20. That's when the hip problem became extreme. My calf muscle seized up. Didn't hurt, but it seized up, got tight, and just lost some function or something. After I found a good chiropractor who sort of started me on my way to figuring out what exactly causes the hip problem, the joint problems, the chronic pain. I started doing some exercises and noticed that my chronic pain started to go away. My low back pain, just by strengthening the oblique, my low back pain disappeared for good permanently. At the age of about 22 was when I pretty much flushed out, rooted out all my problems, um, and started getting more permanent relief. By the age of about 25, I had overcome a small knee problem, very minor. It didn't hurt. My hip, I had tightened my hip back up. Let's check out my posture. It might be a little curvier, more noticeable right now. Maybe, maybe not. My butt might stick back a little more than it did. My shoulders are back further. They're sucked up into their sockets better. Chest sticks out a little more. And that's what happens when you improve your posture. All these things come together. Your bones get pushed back into their alignment from the knees to the shoulders. Hip gets in, spinal position of your spine improves. There was a time when I was about 21, my hip got so bad that I was getting chronic migraine headaches. It was extreme, real bad. And again, as soon as I started, I think it was the external oblique, when I started to fix that, was when the migraine headache went away. Chronic dry eye, I developed that in about my lower mid-20s. Sinus problems, sinus tension, digestive problems, extreme digestive problems. All this stuff is connected. The system that runs from the end of your digestive pipe to your eyelids is all connected. It all depends on the position of your hip and spine. Fix your hip and everything comes back into place. This obviously is not going to address, your elbow or your wrist problems or ankle pain, but these principles, if when you apply these principles to those other joints, that you'll get complete relief when those other problems pop up in other joints. I had tennis elbow. I got some wrist pain working at a appliance warehouse, hauling heavy appliances. When I applied these principles of muscle balance, the wrist pain went away and never came back. So that is how you solve chronic pain. It's not supplements, or it's not really diet, although that contributes to it. It's not the core problem. Diet and nutrition play a very small part. That's at the tail end, kind of. If you have a terrible diet, that's going to weaken your connective tissue, and really, if you have muscle imbalances, that connective tissue is kind of the last defense of keeping your body from coming unglued, your bones from coming unglued. And if your connective tissue isn't strong, you don't stand a chance. You're going to be in some nasty pain. But no, the core problem is muscle balance. Now, do not go out and get the first ab lunge that you see. There are many variations of ab lunges. This is the ab lunge sport. It's the best ab lunge sport that I have come across. There's multiple types of ab lunge sports. And there's the ab lunge 2, ab lunge excel, sport. So there's at least 3 types. You want the ab lunge sport and one particular There's only one real good one. There's about 3 variations of the sport. I go into all these details in my book called Eliminating Pain. You got to read the book in order to understand, put all this together to come up with a perfect game plan of how to recover from all your chronic pain, any chronic pain you might be suffering with. It explains the relationship, clearly explains the relationship between your muscles and bones and nerves, what you need to do, how to flex the muscles. It goes into all the joints that you can think of that will cause chronic pain, because I suffered with all of it. I mean, from my toe to my head, I suffer with chronic pain, lots of it. In this book, I put these problems under a microscope. We laser target the underlying problems contributing to chronic pain. There's no other source on the planet, from what I have seen, that explains all this. All these other programs, this is the only program, only plan, strategy that has a 100% success rate. Everyone who has tried my techniques and done what I have said has gotten relief. Even some of them have even only mildly attempted this strategy, and they've gotten relief. So no joke, I have a 100% success rate with this program. No one else on the planet can boast of a 100% success rate in eliminating chronic pain. Some of them come close. There's some with 90 to 95% success rates. They address some of these principles, but not all of them, obviously, or else they would have a 100% success rate. Therapies are often counterproductive. Almost, this is the only therapy you're ever going to want to use. All therapies either do no good or actually they're counterproductive. They work against your muscle imbalances. They make your posture worse or your joints worse. So you need to avoid all these, the so-called experts, the professionals, big pharma, the drug companies, all these supplements and pills and creams, drinks, all these products do not address the core problems. They might relieve some inflammation, but you're going to be dependent on these things for life. This is the problem. You must address the muscle imbalances in order to get permanent relief and not have to be dependent on all these products and waste a bunch of money. Okay, it's gonna be a serious drain, all these products. For $80, you can get complete relief. They might be anywhere, you can get a used one for probably 25 bucks on Craigslist, a used ab lounge. But no, it's the cheapest route you are ever going to find in getting rid of chronic pain is just restoring your muscle imbalances. My book goes into how to sleep to maintain your posture, how to sit, how to walk. Okay, you must have the book. You gotta know exactly what to do in all circumstances to maintain your posture and the alignment in your joints. You know, your elbows and wrists and fingers. I go into carpal tunnel syndrome. I had carpal tunnel, any type of pain really. You name it, you can solve it just by restoring some muscle imbalances, you know. So you gotta watch, you gotta read the book. It's available on Amazon. I'll post the link in the description box in this video. It even covers reproductive problems. You hear about couples who have problems having kids. They try everything. They can't have kids. Well, there's a reason for it. Okay, it's a simple reason. It's your posture. Okay, even the reproductive system is dependent on your posture. Okay, so yeah, there's so much to it. That concludes this tutorial on how to stop and reverse knee pain, hip pain, digestive problems, sciatica, I mentioned that, low back pain, mid back pain, neck pain, substantial shoulder problem. It says it's a contributor to shoulder problems, although there are other muscles I will get into in later videos that also contribute to shoulder problems. But at the base, your posture contributes to the position of your shoulders mostly. Neck pain, sinus issues, dry eye, headaches. I think that's about all the stuff related to posture.